Good day everyone! I am Rita G. Patalinghog from BSN English 1, and for this video I am going to have a narration about the flow of the detailed lesson plan I prepared for English 7 students. So the first thing to do after entering the classroom is of course to greet the students with a pleasing tone to start the class formally. And of course they will greet me back as well. Conducting a prayer is an essential factor for the students to influence them and to ask guidance for the rest of the discussion. So for this, I am going to ask one student to lead the prayer. As a teacher, I am obliged to monitor the attendance in order for me to acknowledge the absences and the presence of my class. And before presenting the lesson for the day, I will first have a short recap about my previous discussion to remind the students. To start the lesson, I will first present the objectives on the board so that the students and I will identify the goal for this lesson. It is more effective if I will motivate the students first through my prepared activity wherein I will put strips of paper on the board that will contain mixed, dependent, and independent clauses. And the instruction for the students is that they will try to match the strips of paper to create a sentence that makes sense. And then I will going to check their constructed sentences if it is right or wrong. If it is wrong, I will assist them to correct one. For the unlocking of difficulties, after we match the strips of paper and created a meaningful sentence, I will now going to challenge the students for them to identify which is the dependent and independent clauses placed through color coding. Using the materials that I prepared, the students will mark red color for the dependent clause and blue for the independent clause. And I will take this activity smoothly to manage pressure. In the next part, I will now have the proper discussion. I will present meaning and definitions of a clause and each of its types. And I will present examples of the independent and dependent clauses as a guidance for the students in constructing their own meaningful sentences later for their assignments. After providing meaning for a clause and identifying dependent from independent clause, I will now try to figure out if the students understand the discussion made through asking questions. This time is the application for the lesson discussed, wherein I will put a question on the board asking what is the importance of learning types of clauses. This will help the students to realize why are we having this discussion and how are they going to apply this in their everyday life as a student. And for the last part is the assignment, wherein I will provide assignments for each of the students to provide independent and dependent examples. After providing the assignments, the discussion will formally end.